What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, and in this video I show you guys exactly how I began the process of doing research for audiobooks. I know it's all the rage lately. You guys have been asking so much in the comments, like, Liz, what do I do now? One of the videos that I did way back over a year ago is one of the most viewed videos that I have, so I figured why not show you guys the process and all the research that goes into making these books, since I am launching quite a few here in the next couple months, and I pretty much learned all this from a very good friend of mine who does very well in the space. So I am super fired up to show you this video of how I do this. I hope you're fired up. Let's do this. All right, so step one of this whole process, and a lot of people ask in the comments, like, Liz, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Do I just grab any book off of Amazon and then recite it myself for Audible? No, you absolutely don't want to do that. That's completely infringing upon their particular book and whatever they've created. There is another way that you have to do this. You have to create your own book. And I know people are like, oh God, I don't want to have to do that. And that seems about as expensive as Amber Heard's divorce, Liz. Yeah, people, I paid attention to that too. How could I not? It was at the front and center of the YouTube's page, but no, we're not going to make it as expensive as Amber Heard's divorce. We're going to do it the poor man's way. So what we got to do is first figure out what topic do we want to have this particular book be about. So typically before I get started, I ask myself a few important questions. And the reason these are so important is because you want to somewhat enjoy this. Now, I know it's work and it can be rather difficult at times, but you've got to enjoy the process of at least researching the topic that you do pick. So the first question that I ask myself is this something that I'd even be remotely interested in? That's number one that I ask myself, and I just think, am I going to be interested in this? Number two, is this a topic that has a lot of subtopics around it? And I'll kind of show you what that means here when we get into it. And then finally, I ask myself, and this is more a common sense question, and that question is, do I think this would be profitable? Like, does it seem something that people are out there searching for? And what I mean by that is, like, let's just say we're trying to write a book on how to make alpaca bears. Is anybody really searching that? Does anybody really want to do that as a trade versus how to create a garden that we can feed and live off of for years to come? That's something entirely different. Clearly, people are interested in that topic because they want to be self-sustaining, and they also want to be able to make healthier foods for themselves. And hell, we don't really know the state of the world as the way that we're seeing things unfold this year. So what we want to do is we want to ask ourselves all those questions before we jump into Amazon. And then step two would be, if all those questions are answered about the topic that we might have in hand, let's go ahead and start researching that topic. So we want to make sure that we come over here to this little hamburger symbol right here, click on all, and then jump into books. And I just go ahead and click into that, and it's going to further take me down into a bigger subdivision of books. So I'm just going to type books, and then right here we're going to start to get a bunch of different suggestions, right? And this is where we want to scroll down to, over here to where the departments are. Okay, so a couple of my favorite departments, and the departments that you guys work in too, those of you that do KDP I'm talking about, is children's books. You can further go into that, but we're not going to pick that one. I'm going to pick a couple of my other two different ones. One is health, fitness, and dieting, and the other is business money. Those are among the top three that I do enjoy, but there's a lot of other topics that you could dive into, but I'm just going to go ahead and pick, for purposes of this, we're going to jump into business and money. So we're going to take a look at business and money. And what you're going to notice is we're at the top level category for business and money. If we scroll on down, we can sort of see the best sellers in this particular niche. You'll see there's one here on NFTs, which is a great one on habits. And then there's some most wished for. I usually like to look at best sellers to see what is selling hot, right? So then I would further go into and click on see more. And pretty much at this point in time, all I'm doing is jotting down ideas, particularly ones that I might be interested in doing the research for, because again, I'm not going to write the damn thing. My writing skills consists of, like whatever. So there's no shot in hell that I'm going to be able to write this thing. I'm certainly going to outsource it and send it to a ghostwriter who's going to write under a pen name, which is clearly not going to be my name. So what I'll do is I'll just scroll through all this and I'll start jotting down ideas. So NFTs would be the first thing that I'm going to do. There was one on habits as well. Who's your mic? I don't exactly know what this is. I could click into it to find out more, but I would just keep going through and see what else pops up. Let's see, there's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Thinking Fast and Slow, Never Split the Difference. This is on negotiation. We've got powerful phrases for difficult people. Here's the one on psychology of money. And I'm looking for more broad ones. how to read literature like a professor. I don't know about that one. Here's one on leadership. Here is one on changing world order, mastering your emotions. That might be something that's interesting. Habits, again, that's the second one we've seen on habits. How to talk to anyone, so that's about just conversation and talking. And I would keep going through here. But again, remember, we're in the most broadest of all broad categories. That's business and money, business and finance, whatever you want to call it. So what we should be doing is, instead of going over a broad overview, what we can actually do is, within business and money, there's all these subcategories. You can see there's a ton of them. What we really should be doing is further niching down the whole damn thing. So I'll point out one of the people's most favorite topics, and that is real estate. If I just click here into real estate, now we'll notice that real estate itself has its whole bestseller list as well. So 1 through 100, it'll show you the top real estate books in general on the niche itself, but we can either further subdivide real estate, and we can go into buying and selling homes, investment, mortgages, real estate, and sales. So let's say we were looking at sales. I'm guessing that this is more categorized towards a real estate agent, and you'll notice that that is the furthest or the most bottom point of the whole niche in general. And right here, this is real estate investing, ninja selling skills, more money, less hustle. I believe this is probably on selling houses. And I would start going in here. Here's one on success of a real estate agent. So we've already got two. You from the perspective of selling a home as a real estate investor, and you from having success as a real estate agent. So those are two potential topics that I write down. And then here's another, real estate investing, your first year in real estate. Again, this is about a real estate salesperson and helping them. Here is how to start a successful Airbnb business. That's another example of a good one. Here's crushing it in apartments and commercial real estate. Again, another commercial real estate. And we continue to move forward. Here's a vending machine book. So that's kind of interesting. The reason that I say that is it is in the real estate, so I guess they're considering the vending machine business sort of a sub-niche of real estate, but it's a topic that I might not have seen had I not jumped into here, because it is so niche down. And the reality is that this might belong in a different category. I just don't know, because I haven't done enough research on the topic. So that is one book that I see here that does stand out. We would obviously have to qualify the book. Right now, remember, all we're doing is gathering information, gathering a list of topics that we could potentially be interested in writing. Later on, we'll get into analyzing those list of topics and seeing which one should we go for, because again, at the end of the day, we're going to invest in creating a book, and we're not going to write it, people. If we write it, again, I speak for myself when I say this, but it's going to be, yeah, like whatever. So the process is simple. You keep doing that for whatever topics that you could be interested in. Here's reverse selling. Here's how to get 3 clients in 30 days. I was going to say 30 clients in 30 days. I might as well stop my day job and jump into real estate if that's the case. Here's one on buying your first home. Here's one on dirt cheap real estate. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of topics that we could actually gather from just looking through this and jot down. So again, that is stage 1 of how we gather information. Pick out a main topic. In my case, I picked business, but you could have picked any department that you really wanted to in books. I talked about earlier, having been in health, fitness, and dieting, you pick out the first main niche or the main category, in this case, health, fitness, and dieting, and even Atomic Habits is in that one too. Then you sub-niche it down. Let's say I wanted to do something on aging. So then I'd click into aging, and then I can look for the aging longevity. If I want to do something on living a long time, you sub-niche it down as much as you want to, and then you dive into the best sellers, and you pretty much look at the top 100 in there. And once you go through the top 100 in there, you write down your ideas. So you're looking at the broader topic. What you also want to do is create a spreadsheet of all these ideas. And let's say, for example, you find this one, the whole body reset, or let's find a better example of one. Let's say we do something like younger next year. So getting younger. So I would click into this, and then I would just highlight this book. Really, you just need to highlight it in here so that you have the URL for this. I would copy this. I'd put it right next to the topic, the broad topic, which we think is being younger, and then put this link right next to it in the next cell. So now we have a spreadsheet of our research, and we can refer back to it at a later time. And I'd continue doing this for the top 100 of all the topics that I'm interested until I have a pretty big list. So I would spend at least a couple hours doing this, compiling all this information, and then taking it to the next step, which is qualification, which I will cover in another video. But other than that, that is my simple research process for figuring out what type of book you want to create for an Audible book. So questions and comments, put them below. I always personally answer those, and I will see you guys next time.